Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sydney, and today's video is just going to be a simple life update Q&A. I asked you all to ask me some questions on my Instagram, and a lot of you sent some in, so I'm just going to be answering them in today's video. There's not much to say in the intro because it is just a Q&A video, but I'll put my Instagram right here so you can go ahead and follow me on there. And yeah, again, not much to say, so I'm just gonna get started with the video. So the first question I got, I'm gonna split into two parts, and the first part is how have you been? And I've been okay. My personal life has been a little bit crazy for the past few weeks, and I've just been trying to recover and get myself back together, get myself back on track, because it has been a little bit insane. I also feel like my summer went by a little bit too fast, and I'm about to go to school. I moved back in a month from today, July 16th, and I don't really think I'm ready for next school year at all. But it's okay. Like, I feel like this summer I had such great plans to like hang out with people and be productive and all this stuff, and I just didn't. I mean, I was productive, but I just never left the house. Yeah, I wish I had a time machine. I wish I had a time machine. You know, like that song. Like, I wish, because I'm just not ready to go back to school at all. But maybe it'll be fun. My next question is, how are you doing on your summer reading list? I'm kind of addicted to TikTok, so it's like hard. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm currently on book number 5 out of my summer reading list, and that is Abolition for the People, which is edited by Colin Kaepernick. I didn't know that the book is a series of essays by the people about abolition. I kind of should guess that. And it talks about the different aspects of policing, how it is such a big aspect of being an American citizen, and it really just imagines a future without those things and a future with restorative justice, and I think that's really interesting. The part that really stood out to me was the essay about police representation within TV and media. As someone who wants to go into that field, I found it very interesting how those forces have been able to sort of infiltrate TV and media and represent themselves in a lighter way so that we trust them more, and they're able to commit such horrible atrocities because the media kind of covers it up. It's a very eye-opening book, and I really recommend it to anyone. I can't even give a specific demographic. I really just think it's an interesting book to anyone who lives in America and wants to educate themselves. Watch my summer reading list video if you want any book recommendations. I talk more about that book in that video. My next question is, how do you like USC? Was it your first choice? I love USC. There's a lot of aspects of the school that really make it the perfect school for me. Like, it's a big school, but it feels like a small campus somehow. I love the access to the entertainment industry and so many connections that I'm able to build at USC. I love how there's USC, and then you're connected to downtown Los Angeles, but you're also connected to the beach. But then you can also go hiking in the mountains. But you can also go watch a Lakers game, and you can also go watch a football game, and you can also go to a concert like on a Wednesday. Like, there's just so many connections and aspects to USC. It's literally at the center of everything in LA, and I love that. Now, a little bit about me. USC was my dream school in high school. Someone that I know is in the film industry, and I told her like my career dreams, and she was like, oh, you should go to USC. And so in high school I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to USC. I didn't know much about the school. I didn't know how hard it was to get in. I knew nothing. I was just like, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to USC, and I'm going to go in the film industry. And then throughout high school, when I would tell people, I started becoming more discouraged about that dream. Like, I had friends tell me that I wasn't gonna get in. My guidance counselor told me to research more realistic options. Yeah, he said that to my face. Anyways, and then the Olivia Jade scandal happened, I think either my freshman or sophomore year, and then I was like, okay, if all these big and powerful people have to pay to get into this school, like, what makes me think that I am gonna get into this school? If all these people have to pay all this money, who do I think I am? So I kind of gave up on USC and started researching other schools. I think ideally I really wanted to go to an HBCU just because of where I was mentally at the time. Like, my college application started during the 2020 election. After the COVID pandemic, Black Lives Matter kind of rose to popularity, and I just didn't want to be at a school where I was afraid of being myself, afraid of being Black. And so an HBCU was really the dream for me, and Spelman was my dream HBCU. And then I got into both schools, and I ended up picking USC just because it felt so much more like a fantasy. My guidance counselor said pick more realistic options. Spelman was kind of that realistic option, but it was still my number one. So I would say that USC and Spelman were like my number ones. my first choices after that financial aid statement came out. Not gonna lie, USC did become my first choice again. My next question is, what are your top 3 movies of all time? And I really don't know. I feel like when people ask me like what's my favorite movie, like I just like don't have an answer. It's like all the movies I've ever seen like leave my brain. I said a couple of months ago that I really enjoyed Ocean's 8, and I still stand by that statement. I love the pacing of the movie. I love the plot. I love the humor. I know Ocean's 8 is widely disliked, but I really do not care. I think it's great. I love Ocean's 8. I, of course, had to pick a Marvel movie, and my favorite Marvel movie is probably Thor Ragnarok, and for the same reasons that I like Ocean's 8. I love the humor and the action and how they kind of play off of each other throughout the movie. I think I've seen Thor Ragnarok at least 1,000 times. Like, I just think it's so funny and so good. And I'm actually going to see the new Thor movie on the night that I'm filming this video. So if you've seen it, let me know how you like. I'm very nervous because some people are saying it's bad and it's like very unserious, and then some people really enjoy it. So I'm very interested to see like how am I gonna like the new Thor movie, since it is directed by the same person who directed Ragnarok. My third, oh, I love Harry Potter. So probably like all of them. If I had to pick one, it would probably be The Order of Phoenix. I love Harry Potter. My next question is, if you could spend 1 hour with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? And I'm kind of afraid to meet my heroes because like what if they're flops, or like what if they're horrible people in real life and like it's just all a lie? Like that would be so sad. But in a perfect world, I would definitely pick Beyonce because she's an icon, like pop culture icon, media icon. She's done so much for the Black community. I think she's just such an admirable person, admirable performer, and I would love to spend an hour with her and talk with her about like everything. Like I don't even know what I would talk about with Beyonce. Like, is she a real person? I don't know. What do you talk about with Beyonce? Like, and then I also picked BTS, at least one of the members, because I'm also a big fan of theirs and I love their music, and I would love to meet them. Like, you know how iconic it would be to say that you met BTS and Beyonce and you're like still living? Like that's iconic. My next question kind of ties into the last one, and it is, who's your dream person to work with? My first one is Issa Rae. I love her show Insecure. It's just incredible. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And I really think that she's such a cool person on camera and off camera, and I've watched her interviews and for representation of Black women in TV shows and cinema. She creates more multi-dimensional Black women in TV and cinema, and I really appreciate her work, and so I would love to work with her one day. My next person is Manuel-Miranda. I am such a big fan of his. I can't even lie. I think he is incredible. If you don't know, I think he's an incredible artist and incredible contributor to pop culture and society, and I would love to work with him one day. Like if I could have like a big musical number, like, you know, the opening scene in the Heights when they're all in the street and they're like dancing, they're like
the late nights you taste beans and rice in some shaved ice. I ain't gonna say it twice. Turn up the street light.
Like if I could do like something like that, that would be so incredible. I would love to work with him one day. I'm a big fan of musicals and musical theater too, so I don't know. I think it would be great to work with him one time. Again, Beyonce. I can't imagine even being on the same set as her. Like I can't imagine looking at her in the face and like working with her. But again, the question is, who is your dream person to work with? And she's like a fantasy person to work with. The next one, the last one, is BTS. Every time that commercial of the girl with the flip phone comes on and she's dancing in the bus and BTS pops up on her phone and they're on the butter set, I just think to myself like, wow, that like should have been me. And it feels kind of disrespectful that it's not me. My next question kind of ties into that one, and it is, what are some of your professional goals? Now, my big dream is to be an actress, director. I want to be the person who works on movies and directs them and writes them and contributes to them, not even just being in leadership, but just being a part of a cast and crew. I'm also very interested in theater. Again, like I said, with the last one with Manuel-Miranda, I would love to have a role in some type of musical movie. Musicals are like my favorite genre, even though I never listed a musical in my favorite film of all time. I think musicals are like the most fascinating genre of film. They're just so fun. So I would love to have some type of musical role in a movie. Being a performer is a big fantasy of mine, but y'all asked for my dream, okay? You didn't ask for some type of realistic thing. So I'm gonna be as often fantastical as possible. And that's that. My next question is, what are you looking forward to most in this upcoming school year? And I have to say, being at USC during the fall semester is something that I look forward to. I've said it multiple times on this channel, but I was a spring admit for USC, and I feel like during the fall semester, not just in college, but like in high school too, people are so much more excited to be at school. There's so much school spirit, and people are so eager to be there, and I'm very excited to be a part of that at my literal dream school. I'm excited to go to football games, I'm excited for welcome week activities, and I'm just excited for that overall buzz, that energy of the new school year. I'm looking forward to making more friends, seeing my friends again, and making more of a community at USC. I'm just very excited for that. And it's very nerdy, but I'm also excited to grow in my major and to learn so much more. I'm an African American Studies major, and I love it. And I'm very excited to learn more about that major. So my last question is, what do you look forward to achieving soon? And I guess I would say all of those fantasy career goals that I listed before, like working with so many notable people and working on a crew and being in a cast and all of that. I'm very excited to work towards that, and I think that's one thing that I'm looking forward to at USC, is to have more opportunities to do stuff like that. I never like to set the bar that high for myself publicly, because it's like, what if I flop? Like, that's so embarrassing. But I have to work hard and have faith in myself and try at my dreams, because if I don't, like, no one else will. And I don't want to be on my deathbed thinking, wow, I should have tried to become an actor. That was always something that I wanted to do, but I was too scared to do it. And now I regret it. And now I regret not having a YouTube channel or working on a film set. I should have tried. I don't want to die and think that. That's so sad. So I'm working hard to make that dream life, that fantasy life that I have in my head, a reality. And I think that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. Alright, so that's all I have for today's video. Thank you for watching the updated Q&A, and thank you for sending me so many questions on Instagram. I'm really grateful for you all's interaction and love and support on this channel. Again, I'll put my Instagram on the screen so you can go ahead and follow me, but I will see you all in my next video. Thank you again for watching. Bye!